bring you that message, we have our special agent in charge, Robert Hughes, and a few folks from the Milwaukee County Transit System will be joining him as well. So without further delay, special agent in charge of the Milwaukee Division of the FBI, Robert Hughes.
I thought we were going to have
Judy? Oh, Judy from the transit system. Here you are.
Hi, my name is Julie Schneider. I'm the Director of Security, Safety, and Risk Management for Milwaukee County Transit System. This is an excellent partnership that we are engaging in with the FBI because our bus operators and our buses cross every inch of Milwaukee County. So it's really important that we're able to send that message that we are supporting the stopping of hate crimes and the reporting of hate crimes. So we're really excited for this campaign, and we would love to hear more about it. So Special Agent in Charge Hughes, thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Good morning. My name is Robert Hughes. I'm the Special Agent in Charge of the FBI's Milwaukee Division. I want to thank, first of all, the Milwaukee Transit System for their partnership in this initiative that we have today. I want to state that no one in our community should ever have to live in fear of becoming a victim of a hate crime. Today, the Milwaukee FBI Division is here at the Milwaukee County Transit System to make that message loud and clear by utilizing MCTS buses to encourage the public to report such crimes. Most hate crime is motivated by a bias toward race, ethnicity, ancestry, religion, sexual orientation, disability, gender, and gender identity. No matter what excuse for hate crime offenders may use, there's no justification for violent attacks, threats of violence, vandalism, or other forms of destruction of property. Hate crime is one of the highest priorities that the FBI has, and it falls under our civil rights program, which is also one of the highest priorities that the FBI has. We are the primary federal agency responsible for investigating allegations regarding violations of federal civil rights violations and statutes. Laws that are designed to protect the civil rights of all persons, citizens and non-citizens alike, within the United States and its territories. Our FBI headquarters recently released the latest hate crime statistics, revealing a rise in these types of crimes. Hate itself is not a crime. However, criminal offense against people or property motivated by an offender's bias is a crime. We know there are some in our community who may be frightened to come forward, may be victims, or may know of other victims. You do not need to suffer in silence any longer. Please, please join us, call us, be our partner, let us help you. Reach out to the FBI and report these types of hate crimes. These two large Milwaukee County Transit buses behind me will also be a constant rolling reminder to the people of this community to dial 1-800-CALL-FBI, day or night. That number is 1-800-225-5324, and you can get help. Or you can submit tips online at tips.fbi.gov. Together as a community, we can get victims the help they need and put these offenders where they need to be, out of our communities. With this, I'd like to take any questions if you have any. According to our statistics, the number of crimes have risen over the last several years. In 2016, we had an estimated 34 reports of hate crimes. In 2020, that number has risen to 72 thus far in 2020. Or I'm sorry, that was in 2020. I do not have the statistics for 2021 at this point. Yes, we'd like to encourage everyone to contact us and feel free to do that. We do keep all confidential, all information is reported to us confidential. Most of the time, as most of you know, you usually don't see a lot of information about FBI cases, if any, in the news. And it's for the protection of, one, the integrity of the investigation, but more importantly, is to protect the victims of these crimes. We're also very good because we have a victim services division within the FBI. So we have victim service specialists on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And those folks are assigned to assist these victims and help walk them through the process. But you have my guarantee that any information that's provided to us is kept confidential. Any other?
The FBI kind of seems like a big, not scary organization, but very intimidating. How do you tell people who are not sure if they have experienced a hate crime that it is okay to reach out?
I will tell you that the FBI is not that big, bad monster entity that people think we are. I stand before you today and I'm just like you. The people that work in our division are just like you. We live in your communities. We live in this community. It's our community too. We don't want people to be victims of crimes. We all take an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States and to defend against all enemies, foreign and domestic. In this particular instance, this is an enemy to us. If someone is committing a hate crime, if they're being targeted, if they're having violent acts or threats of violence thrown toward them by people based on these protected things, we are going to investigate it and we'll get to the bottom of it. We will help you. We will help you. So we're not that big bad entity that everyone thinks we are. We are a professional organization and we're here to help our communities and to help the people of this great nation.
Are you hopeful that having the phone number on the buses really creates more of an influx of calls? Would you say that you're getting less and less calls, or maybe local police officers are getting the hate crime calls instead of you guys when it should be going to you all? What do you have to say to people who are maybe unsure, like who do I call, who do I have access to?
Well, I would say if it's an emergency, if you are currently experiencing violence of some type, you need to call 911. Okay, that would be the appropriate call. We work very closely with our state, federal, and local partners in law enforcement, and we share information with each other and get each other's assistance and help each other in these instances. But I think a lot of times people really don't understand that the FBI is charged with being the primary investigative agency to handle hate crimes. I just don't think that that word is out. So this is what's going to help us get it out. We want this number all over the city. We have billboards around the city also that have the same type of information. Almost every press conference I've held, I usually put out the 1-800-CALL-FBI number. And again, it is utilized. It is utilized. It's just not utilized enough. We know there are victims out there that don't report because of fear. And we are here to tell you that we will help you.
I know it probably depends from case to case, but are you able to explain what kind of consequences people can face that commit hate crimes?
Well, as far as consequences go, again, we're not the judicial type system, okay? We're not the prosecution system. That's handled by the United States Attorney's Office. We are the investigative arm, so we're going to investigate the crimes. We're going to find out who's doing these types of acts. We would be charged with arresting those types of facts and presenting the evidence, but the prosecutors are the ones that go to the court system. So I cannot tell you the range. I have Supervisory Special Agent Chris Farrell to my left, who is in charge in our office of overseeing all the criminal investigations for hate crimes. I would ask Chris, do you know what the penalty range is for hate crimes?
It's going to be dependent on the type of hate crime, and based on what was it, an act of violence or was it a threat of violence. It also can be based on what kind of what the act was, and then what was the hate crime act towards, right? Was it race, gender, sexual orientation? So there's a lot of things that are in play when it comes to looking at potential charges as well as federal sentences and guidelines. And it's also dependent on the subject, right? So if we do an investigation and we find the subject, it depends if have they been arrested before? Do they have a criminal history? So there's a lot of factors that go in towards determining how long someone would be sentenced for a hate crime. But I can tell you this, that the U.S. Attorney's Office and the FBI, it is a significant type of investigation and prosecution, and there are heavy federal sentences that come with it.
Any other questions?
Besides just the launch of this debate here in this city, but has the FBI in other cities seen success through campaigns like this with getting more calls or leading to more information?
Well, we have used, again, I think the closest thing I can relate to the bus campaign is the billboards. We do have billboards that we use throughout the nation to put out the 1-800 number and discuss hate crimes and other crimes, our Top 10 program and others. I don't know of any other city that has done this, quite frankly. Now, I'm not saying there aren't any, but none that I'm aware of. And this is definitely a first here. And that's why, again, we appreciate the partnership with Milwaukee Transit Service, because I think they're doing our communities a huge benefit by just getting this information out there. And if it can help one person, it's done its job.
This might be more of a question for Milwaukee Transit, but do you have are there any statistics maybe that how well advertising does on buses? If not, that's okay.
I can reach you afterwards.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. You guys have a good afternoon.
I wasn't planning on talking.
so much.